What's going on? My name is Fletch, and I'm going to lead you through a full body mobility routine. It's going to last around 20 minutes. You can do this out on the grass, on a towel, on a yoga mat, completely up to you. But let's jump into it. So start in a high plank position, and then move up into an upward facing dog, and then push it all the way back to a downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Feel the stretch in your hamstrings. And then baby step it all the way up to meet your hands. And then what you want to do is let that upper body hang here. Sway side to side, grounding through your feet as much as you can. And then bounce. Let that upper body just move with the wind, create a little bit of momentum. And then bring that upper body a little bit further towards the ground, and then let the neck hang. Left hand goes down to the ground. Reach that right hand up and do the opposite. Right hand goes down, left hand goes up. Exhale, left hand goes down, right hand goes up. Exhale, right hand goes down. Inhale, left hand goes up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Get a couple more bounces in. Then wiggle out your feet, and we'll meet all the way down in my favorite position of all time, the sumo squat. Now, if sumo squat is not in your practice and you're just not feeling it, you can always put a pillow underneath your buttocks. If you're really craving some hip movement like I am right now, you can play around with letting that hip or letting that knee go forward. And the key here is to not get too static in the pose. We'll meet in a high plank, however you want to get there. Low plank, upward facing dog, look up, and then send it all the way back, downward facing dog. Trying to create a wave with the spine. Pedal it out, creating length in your hamstrings, trying to get the heel towards the ground as much as possible. And then opening up through the shoulders. So my chest is going towards the ground, gripping the mat, gripping the ground. Left foot goes forward, right knee comes down to the ground, meet in a kneeling lunge. So push that right hip forward. Beautiful. And then allow that left knee to glide over the left ankle. Arms and hands go up, big chest. Try to create as much length as you can. And then you can go onto the top of your right foot. Hands go down to frame the left foot. Left foot goes back to meet your right. High plank, low plank. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Let's go other side now. Right foot flies up. Now bring that right foot in between your hands. Left knee goes down to the ground. Try to keep that right heel on the ground as your right knee glides forward, and then you're pushing that left hip crease. I'm pushing the left hip crease forward. Hands go down, right foot goes back to meet your left. High plank, low plank, upward facing dog. And then when you're ready, shoot it all the way back. See, I'm trying to create a wave in my spine. I'm still working on that one. Pedal it out, creating more length in the hamstrings. Continuing to send your chest back towards your knees. We'll meet in a wide-legged forward fold. So I'm going to face you so you can see a little bit better. And play around here. Similar to what we were doing in ragdoll. Allow that upper body just to hang. Toes are facing 12 o'clock. And then we'll meet in a Cossack squat or a side lunge. So bringing all your weight onto your left foot, Then all your weight onto your right foot. All your weight onto your left foot. And then all your weight onto your right foot. I like doing this exercise barefoot, so then I'm strengthening my feet and my ankles more, and I'm not depending on the cushion of a shoe. I'm also trying to get my toes of my opposite foot up towards the sky, play around with the hip mobility there. So my foot is flat, and then you can play around with how you want to maneuver from side to side. So I'm trying to stay really low right here, and you can try the same. See how it feels in your hips. Now, if you're on the toes, if you're on your toes on the opposite foot, that is completely fine. Just see eventually if you can keep your toes and your heel, the full foot on. So meet back in this wide-legged forward fold, and then once again, really testing out the thoracic mobility here. Allow the right hand to come down towards the ground, and then left hand reaches up. Left hand goes down, right hand reaches up. And see if you can follow that hand all the way up and then all the way down. So I'm trying to get my eyes to follow the hand as it goes up and down, maintaining a sense of ease and focus. You can widen out your feet as wide as you want or as wide as you need. We'll meet in a crescent lunge. So the left foot, the left leg is out, and then the right knee is back. There's a generous bend in the right knee and in the left knee. And then that right knee is off the ground. You're on the ball of your back foot, and then right hand comes down towards the mat, towards the ground. And then left hand, left arm reaches up towards the sky. Hugging your hips in. And then left foot goes back to meet your right for that high plank. Really push that spine up towards the sky. Look up, open up through the throat, open up through the chest, and push it all the way back. Downward facing dog. Once again, pedal it out. Maybe your hamstrings are starting to loosen up. They are starting to lengthen. Spend a couple seconds here pedaling out, and then let that right foot come in between your hands. We'll start in the crescent lunge. So that right knee is over your right ankle, and the left leg is back. You're on the ball of your back foot. So on the ball of your left foot. And you're trying to push your left hip crease forward to be even with the right. So you have square hips. Wonderful. And then the arms, the hands are the very last thing to come up. Big arms, big chest. And when you bring the upper body down, left hand reaches for the ground. And then right hand reaches all the way up, creating an opening through the chest. Then right hand comes down towards the ground. Right foot goes back to meet your left. High plank. Check how you're grounding. Check where your tailbone's at. See if you can suck your belly button in towards your spine. Beautiful. Bring it all the way down. Upward facing dog. Push it back, downward facing dog. Continuing to ground down through your palms. Pushing heels down towards the mat, towards the ground. And when you're ready, bring that left leg all the way through for a pigeon stretch. So that left leg is folded underneath your body. Forearms are melting down into the earth, and you want to try to get that right leg back. Now, without getting too stuck here, we're going to bring that left leg back to meet your right. Let's go other side. So bring that right leg through. Trying to get that right hip. See, my right hip really shouldn't be off the ground like this. If I was in a yoga class, I'd probably put a bolster or a block underneath my right hip. My right hip is pretty tight today. That's just how it is. But where I'm feeling the stretch is most important, and I'm feeling on the side of my hip. I'm going to show you a great prerequisite into pigeon pose. So jump back into a high plank. Think about, once again, flexing your core. Come all the way down, low plank, upward facing dog. Once again, waving through that spine, push back into that downward facing dog. Pedal it out. And we're gonna jump into 90-90. Now, if you've done 90-90 before, then you know what I'm talking about. If you've never done 90-90, then you're about to do 90-90. So lift that left foot all the way up into the sky and then bring it through into 90 degrees. Very similar how you're gonna set up for pigeon. But instead of going into full pigeon, your right leg is at 90 degrees. Ground down through that right foot, right leg, and then try to lift up that left leg as much as you can. Now push the left foot down and then see if you can lift up that right leg. Beautiful. If you catch a cramp here, that's completely normal. You can play around with lifting up that right foot and then see if you can lift up just the left foot, pushing. Beautiful. Your hands are there to guide you, and we'll wiggle over to the other side. So now your right leg is out at 90 degrees and your left leg is back at 90 degrees. If you want, you can hinge that upper body over that right leg just to get a little bit more of a stretch. Okay, just like we did on the other side, we're going to try to lift up that right leg, pushing the ground with the left. Lift, lift, lift. Beautiful. Now let's do the other side. So then push into the ground with that right and then lift up the left. Lift, left, lift. Beautiful. And then lift up just the left foot and left ankle, pushing the left knee into the ground. Wonderful. And once again, if you can't do this, that is completely fine. It is something that you can work into. I'm making this video for you, wherever you're at in your physical journey. This might be absolutely butter for you. It might be the hardest thing of all time. But just use it as inspiration. Use it as something that you can explore, test, and grow into. We'll jump back into 90-90 on the left side and then see if you can get that right foot to sweep forward and back. This is a great way to play with the range of motion of your right hip. So with the starting at 90-90, you're going to bring that right leg up and around, trying to keep it off the ground. And you can tell by my big toe edge that my foot is flexed. Now let's go over to the other side, but I'm going to try to keep my left knee on the ground as long as I can as I lift up through the right. And right when my right can't go up any further, that's when I'll spin around and then let that left come all the way over. Now we're going to do the exact same thing on the left side. So going forward and back, letting that left leg sweep all the way through. I'm trying to keep those left toes flexed as much as possible. So I'm using my upper body here to hinge and feel the stretch a little bit more. And here is another layer you can add on top of it. So now we'll meet on our knees. The left hand will reach down to left heel, right hand to right heel, and squeeze your glutes to help protect your lower back so you're not dumping into your lower back. In yoga, this is very similar to camel pose. Camel is both hands going to both heels, but we're not going to go into full camel. You don't have to. You can if you want. If you have that flexibility in your spine, go for it. All right, I hope your body's already feeling a little bit looser. This next stretch we're about to do is my arch nemesis. It's a half split. So there's a couple of different ways to do this. A lot of times people will say to keep a flat back, and I respect that and honor it. But I feel the stretch even when I'll curl my spine because I'm trying to stretch out and lengthen my hamstring. And the way to take it from a passive stretch into more of an active stretch is to go forward and back like so. And even this, where it looks like I'm not moving that much, I'm pushing my heel into the ground as much as I can to try to create length and loosen up that hamstring. Let's go to the other side. So rocking forward and back, and then those left toes are going back towards your face, and then push that left heel into the ground. The more you push the left heel into the ground, the more you're going to feel it in that hamstring, and then flexing your toes back at your face. My goal is to eventually hit a split. I think I'm about a year away from doing that, maybe 2 years. But I'll keep you updated with how that split journey is going. I want to be able to do one, just bust out a split at a wedding. I think that would be top tier dance move. If you can do a split and you're with me, leave a comment if you got any secret sauce to how you learned how to do it. I think it's just time though. All right, wherever you're at, we're gonna meet back in this wide-legged forward fold and try to go wider than you went last time. I'm much wider than I went last time because now my body is warmed up. My hamstrings are a lot looser and I feel just overall a sense of ease running through my legs. If you need to grab some water, grab some water. We're almost done. All right, we're gonna get the heart rate going for a little bit. So start jumping on your left foot and right foot, and you can freestyle. The key here is that you are hopping. It's a jump rope without a jump rope. Trying to get the heart rate up and just trying to move the blood around your body. If you're doing this inside, just be mindful of your surroundings. If you're doing this outside, and you can feel the sunshine, oh yeah, incredible. Let those arms go loose. A couple more seconds here. Look at your heart rate. Wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, just maybe send a thought of gratitude throughout your body. The fact that you are freaking alive. Yeah, it's beautiful, it's wonderful. And you might look goofy doing this, but in actuality, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter if you look goofy doing something. Continue to play with distribution of weight. So going from your left foot to your right foot and then shake it out. Wonderful. And then we'll do some body pats. It's body percussion. This is the cheap man's Theragun. So send those body pats all the way down towards your calves and then bring it up to your legs, your thighs, all the way around your belly, up towards your chest, all the way to your shoulders and then your lower back. This is awesome for moving energy and then getting blood flow. And then also your lymph nodes. So right around your collarbone, right there where I'm rubbing, you have a large lymph on either side that sit on top and beneath your collarbone. And one of the greatest ways to flush them is to rub, and then pat. And then if you ever get sick, when you feel yourself get sick, you might feel your throat and your lymphs swell up on either side of your neck. So give those a rub, press down, and then a little massage to the fas. A lot of times I hold a lot of tension in my jaw for whatever reason. I'm not exactly sure why. And then finally, under the armpits, I'm hoping you're wearing deodorant for you and me. And then let that upper body just go loosey-goosey, side to side, windmill. And allow yourself to cool down, moving your hips, letting momentum carry you from side to side. allow your thoughts to be light. And then we'll go into Zen swings. Opening up through the chest, bringing momentum from arm to arm, from hip to hip. And then slowly but surely come a little bit lower. Now we're no longer doing Zen swings. It's a little bit more of an orangutan. All right, this is the very last exercise, horse stance. So horse stance is as hard as you make it. So you want to sit like you're sitting in a chair, push your hips back, ground through your feet. Your arms are out in front of you. There's a gentle bend in your elbows. If you want, you can distribute your weight from side to side, and then slowly we'll meet down in a sumo squat. Hey, you got 20 minutes better today. Thanks for spending time with me, and I'll see you next time. Peace and be well.